गणनान्त्वा घनपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनाम् उपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान् शृण्वन्नोदिभिः सीदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनेवते धीनामवित्रयवद गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। ओम साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ओम जयन्ती मंगलकाली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवधात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। ओम त्रिपुरायै च विद्महे महाभैरव्यै च धीमहि तन्नो देवी प्रचोदयात्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Sairam Lin.
Sairam Sharma. I offer my most humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of our beloved Lord, Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Today's topic is, His photo is alive. And I will talk about the power of Swami's photographs and give some examples of how inexplicably powerful they are. A dear friend of mine, as a child, was attending a Ramakrishna school. And you can go to these schools. If you're a boy, you've probably heard of them in India. We do not have them in New Zealand. I do believe there is also one in Fiji. And these schools are run by Ramakrishna Swamis. Now, this boy was given a big book on Holy Mother, who was Ramakrishna's consort. And he told me he remembered thinking, he was only 7 years old, what a big book for such a small boy. And he was more interested in watching the deer that were grazing around his school. He was seated outside on the steps of a little kutir, a little cottage. And as he watched the deer, he suddenly saw two deer come together, and Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai appeared to him between the horns of the deer. He was surrounded with luminous light, and this frightened the little boy, and he ran to the Ramakrishna Swamis, telling them what he had seen, and he did not want to go back. The Swamis were very sympathetic, and they brought out a pair of Swami's silver padukas, which Swami had gifted to these monks. And they told the boy, now you should worship these padukas. They are blessed by Sri Sathya Sai Baba, that is who you saw. The boy said, I will never do this. And he ran to his room, where he had a little altar with a photo of Sri Ramakrishna that he meditated on. He calmed himself somewhat, sitting before the photo, and suddenly the photo changed into the smiling face of Sri Sathya Sai. The little boy again ran to the Swamis and told them, and they said, now, do not be afraid. Go back and look at the photo. You will see it is now Sri Ramakrishna. The boy went back, and sure enough, the photo had turned into Sri Ramakrishna. But the longer the boy meditated on it, again, this photograph turned into Swami, this time smiling and laughing. Then the boy thought, this is surely a wonderful being. I will now worship this being. A few years later, the boy came down with a serious heart ailment, and the Swami sent him home to Bangalore. The parents took the boy to Swami's hospital, and the doctors there sadly said nothing could be done. The boy then said, I will now only take Swami's vibhuti, and within 3 months, he was completely well. Shortly after that, the boy's parents took him to Whitefield. Swami gave the boy a photograph of himself, which continues to materialize vibhuti this day. I had a friend who was a devotee of Sri Yantra Lalita, the supreme goddess. And he was somewhat critical of Sri Sathya Sai. He said, oh, he is just some yogi. I am not so interested. I am more happy worshipping my ma. I said, well, that is fine, but if you ever go to put a party, I suggest you go into the bhajan hall and just enjoy the samadhi. This was, of course, after April 11th, 2011. Swami was no more in the physical body. I said, you will perhaps have a nice experience, and there's also a Gayatri shrine there that you may enjoy. So the man did find himself, he was from Mumbai, he found himself one day not too far from Prashanti, and so he decided to take my advice and go to Kulwant Ho. He seated himself and began silently praying to his chosen deity, the goddess Lalita, who is also the goddess that presides over the Sri Yantra. Now, as you know, there are big photographs of Swami in the mandir, and he began looking at these photos as he was chanting. Suddenly, the photo of Swami came alive and began pulling a funny face at him. He was so shocked, he nearly fainted, and he told himself, this must be my imagination. The second time he looked at it, again the photo came alive, and Swami was making like what he said was like a clown face at him. Again, he was so shocked that he fell over, and a Sevadal had to come and assist him. He was so disturbed by this experience that he ran out of the hall and rushed to the Gayatri shrine, where he began chanting Gayatri mantra. But since then, his thoughts have slowly changed. It has taken several years, but he is now accepting that Bhagwan is Purna Avatar. Third example, a friend of mine is a Krishna devotee, and she went to a house. She knew that I went to see Swami, but she always said, oh, he is your guru. My guru is Lord Krishna. She went to a house where a Krishna celebration was taking place with other devotees, and she went into one of the bedrooms to adjust her sari. As she stood in front of a picture of Lord Krishna, it changed into Swami smiling at her and indicating she should not be adjusting her sari in front of his picture. She was so shocked that she ran out of the house, jumped in her car, and rushed to a nearby shop to buy a bottle of water. When she walked into the shop, there was a picture of Swami behind the cash register. At that stage, she was so upset that she rang me on her phone. She said, this God of yours is following me. What to do? And I said, don't worry. He is just letting you know that all are one. Swami's photos are very, very powerful. It is well known that the photo of Swami holding the golden lingam, he is holding it high. This photo has tremendous healing properties. You can place it on yourself if you are feeling unwell, on the body part that is causing you pain, or you can give it to someone who is experiencing illness or discomfort. They can put the photo there, picture Swami, and pray to him that they are not feeling well. Can he please help? Swami's photographer, Eki Mistry, told me that he had a small garage filled with the rarest photos of Swami. Eki was photographing Swami back in the days at Vrindavan when the big tree was still there, when Swami sat under the tree with a large statue of Lord Krishna and gave darshan. This gives you an idea of how long Keki had been photographing Swami. And I said, Keki, I want to see this garage. I want to see these photos. Keki chuckled and said, I don't think so, Lynn. The garage is full of cobras. And I'm a bit afraid of cobras, so I said, that's okay. We will just go to your lab and look at the photos there instead. Carry a photo of Swami with you wherever you go. In your shirt pocket, in your purse, in your wallet, when you were driving in the car, on the bus, the train, the airplane, even when you were just out walking. It will protect you. Keep a photo of him always in your home. My friend who lived through the Christchurch earthquake sometime back here in New Zealand lived in a townhouse on the main street of Christchurch. When the earthquake hit, it was during the night, and she was thrown out of bed and was not injured. The food in the refrigerator had fallen out on the floor, but the photo of Swami was safe on the wall. When it became light the next morning, she looked out the window. Every other house around her was in ruins, matchsticks and heaps of rubble. Hers was the only house in the street that had been completely protected, other than a bump on her chin and some food on the floor. And remember, on a more sobering note, remember that Swami has declared that he is the ultimate divine photographer. At any moment, he may decide to click, and that is the moment that you must leave this earth. Therefore, always have his divine name on your lips. Om Shri Sai Ram, Om Shri Sathya Sai Baba. You will have a wonderful journey, and you will see many, many more wonderful pictures on the way. Om Shri Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram, Om Shri Sai Ram. तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर. हरि ओम तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु. ओम शांति शांति शांति.